You know, I just want to go ahead and point something out. For years, I got criticized relentlessly and mercilessly. I had been publicly labeled as quote unquote faking a disability for, in an attempt to garnish sympathy and attention because of false allegations that had been thrown my way. Now, here's the funny thing, all right? When Vinny died, ultimately, Myrna and my mom went and tried to make it seem to the cops like I should be under scrutiny. All right. So now keep in mind, all right, we are talking in 2013. They literally had claimed, hey, you should go ahead and suspect that, you know, I ended up killing Vinny. Keep in mind, ended up getting racially profiled. This whole fucking setup situation. Ended up spending 6 months on a 120-day max. And, I ended up getting exonerated for the whole thing, because of the factor that ultimately law enforcement was able to go ahead and see through the lies, while simultaneously, everyone that had went to go organize together, they couldn't keep their story straight. Now, keep in mind, when law enforcement has to go and literally exile individuals and separate them, and have them spread throughout states, throughout counties, and making sure that there is no cross coordination by monitoring, digital communications. Ultimately, by that point, your perjury, it's going to blow up in your face. Now, the factor that I showed my medical records, I showed that I just went to the hospital not even a few days ago. And while somebody wanted to go ahead and be like, oh no, fucking, drug addict junkie that can't fucking get sober. It's like, no, fucking cardiac patient getting relentlessly fucking harassed. And the thing that I love about, ultimately just how fucking stupid they are in the situation. It's like, hey, so when it comes down to the circumstances that Vinny died under, ultimately, if you had to go ahead and point a finger towards somebody, ultimately, the cops ended up going ahead and pointing out suspicious circumstances, like I did. So if anything ends up happening to me, and keep in mind, obviously, with that fucking thumbprint that on that video I ended up showing, me using my my actual imprint, I showed that it's actually my medical records. So that way nobody could be like, oh, no, accessing somebody else's medical records. Nope. Literally made a video showing me accessing my own medical records and literally ended up going ahead and showing the myocardia uh, diagnosis. Basically inflammation of the muscle, in the heart, which keep in mind, that muscle severing, that was the same circumstance that ended up happening with Vinny's heart that they said made it, where ultimately, even if they would have rushed to, get him and everything, it would have been too late anyway for, EMTs. So the factor of that same muscle on my heart now being inflamed, there's a pattern here, you know? And there is actually different poisonings that ultimately are just little micro doses of poison that would end up going ahead and causing that specific muscle to have those problems. So, two different people, same health circumstances, same people, quote unquote, being caretaker. Nah, anything happens to me, both of them are going to prison. And they know it. So, ultimately, anybody at Redemption Hill Church, if you see them freaking out, that's why. All right? Because they know anything happens to me, You're fighting a murder charge.